John, you said you wanted to address depth in particular during this offseason. How do you feel like you executed that?
I think we got a couple pieces to kind of highlight the needs: shooting, perimeter defense, and just complete synergy in the first and second unit. Just IQ and passing as well.
How did the Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Johnson trade kind of come together?
I mean, it was discussions. It went over a couple of different days. Obviously, it was something that we wanted to approach with some sort of delicate, I guess, ability there. Wanted to address the defensive ability and some versatility in terms of shooting. Both guys kind of are similar in their approach, but with that kind of, it addressed the need with a little bit more defensive ability on the perimeter.
What is it about Cam's skill set do you think will allow him to fit in?
I think he's got a high level IQ of playing, knows how to really cut, space the floor, get out in transition to kind of flatten out the defense. Will give Jamal and Joker the ability to kind of play a little more free, keep defenses honest. And then again on the other side of the ball, him just be able to guard 1 through 4 is going to give us a little more flexibility.
Did you have any prior relationship with him? Did you know him?
No.
No?
I knew of him, but didn't know him personally, no.
What did you particularly like? I think I asked about his skill set, but like about his personality, the culture fit. What's going to work that way?
Easygoing guy, but he takes the game very seriously. You can tell from his podcast and the way he talks about the game, he's able to break it down in an advanced manner. I think just temperament-wise, he kind of favors our group in terms of just how they approach the game, and he's very serious about his craft.
Mm-hmm. What will bringing back Bruce Brown provide?
A lot of excitement for the fans, first of all. His versatility, though, again, just being able to break guys down, also hit tough, timely shots. And he's got a grit about him that we need, and I know our guys will be, excited to have him back.
What were the conversations like to get him back?
I mean, it was a no-brainer. I think Bruce did what he did to kind of let the world know that, he favors Denver and he likes what we had to offer, and it kind of worked out.
What's the fan reaction been like from your perspective?
So it's been good. I haven't really read too deep into it. Obviously, we've been kind of focused on just the moves to make and overall placement of the team. But I think the fans are excited. I think it gives a little fresh perspective, and our players are excited as well.
Switching to Tim Hardaway Jr. now, why was he so enticing to you guys?
Needed a shooter with some size. Tim has provided that over the past years. He's played in real NBA minutes and real playoff moments. And so for him to match just the stage in which we are as a team, again, was a no-brainer and a solid fit.
What parts of his game do you think will add particular to the bench and to the depth?
His ability to kind of be a microwave scorer. He doesn't need a lot of time to warm up. He's really active both on and off the ball. Quick release, catch and shoot guy, and just really knows how to find his angles to get open.
Finally, securing a backup big to come in behind Nikola Jokic. How important was finding that piece?
Extremely important. Just to give him some rest, first of all. But he has a game to which you don't have to really change your offensive approach. You can still play from the elbows. You can still play from top of the key, get guys involved. Defensively, he's a juggernaut in the sense that he can both play above and below the rim with his strength and size. And so you get a chance to kind of mirror your approach.
Why did you feel like he was the right fit?
Just overall feel and instincts, I think, from our group, from scouting him over the years and kind of seeing how he plays, and just knowing he's such a great guy. He's a good locker room fit. He worked out for us.
Yeah, do you feel like his personality will be good here with the group?
For sure, for
sure. When you sold Nuggets basketball to these free agents, how did you do it?
Well, big piece of that is Nikola. I think guys want to play, and they want to play in a winning situation. I think that's a testament to everybody who's come here before us, and just kind of setting that culture and that standard. It's been fun to watch Nuggets basketball the past couple of years, and guys and players are aware of that. And so it wasn't too much convincing. Just once the opportunity was there, guys kind of bought in.
When you did have to, if you did have to convince them, is it a certain description of the style of play? Is it just Nikola Jokic? Is it the stage that you guys are at, competing for a championship? How did you phrase that?
I think it's a combination of all that. I think when we talked to, obviously, the agents as well, it was, this is a very specific window for us. And I think guys, they value the opportunity to play for something special and to play with special guys, but at the top of all that, to play with good people. And I think just kind of having that trifecta made it, more enticing to guys.
How did you and Ben complement each other when getting these deals done?
Very well, actually. I think the biggest thing was we were able to galvanize just the entire group effort. We had so many different guys pulling off different responsibilities. Ben has done a lot of legwork before I even got hired. So for me, it was easy for me to kind of come in, not try to do too much, but assess what we needed and complement him in the best way possible.
If these moves were to play out perfectly as to how you envisioned them, what does it look like?
I mean, I don't know how well I can speak to that. I think just free-flowing, good energy, high energy. I think we can play a little bit more aggressive this year with this group of guys, and hopefully just have the depth to compete in not only the entire NBA, but specifically the West.
Given how many minutes the starting group, the core starting group here has played, what will that do, that depth provide?
Hopefully it helps with our health. I think that's the first thing. I think with our coaches, it'll give us the opportunity to get more creative, just because you don't really have a drop-off with those guys. You can kind of mimic, whatever a nightly basis or matchup may bring. We'll have the pieces to not only compete, but to attack.
Is this a team that can win in different ways now?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
How?
I think we'll be able to play both slow and fast. I think defensively we'll be able to, attack guys full court, but also be able to be a better half-court defensive team. Positional defenders, both, and having the athleticism with guys like, Peyton Watson coming off the bench, Christian Brown, being able to really match the energy of what a lot of teams have become younger in their front court and back court presence. I think we can match that now.
So how important do you think it is to be able to win in different ways in today's NBA?
Very important. I think these guys have gotten so good offensively specifically. You just can't guard them one-on-one. So I think it's got to be a team effort, a collective effort. But I think being able to, adhere to different matchups on a nightly basis, again, just kind of takes a lot of the pressure off the coaches and just kind of builds that team spirit.
You talked about your relationships with players being your strength. How have you become so good at crafting and maintaining those?
Just listening, trying to meeting guys where they are. I think it's having a selfless approach, and one of the main things is asking, what can we do better? How can we give you the resources that you need to be better? And just really just being consistent in that approach daily, but at the same time being demanding, and hey, there's an expectation on their end as well. How
did you initially pull those walls down with players?
I don't know. I think maybe my playing background probably helped a little bit with that. And again, just being able to get out there on the court and to guys kind of understand that, hey, I'm not talking at you. I'm trying to collaborate with you and trying to find the best outcome.
When did you realize that was a strength of yours?
Probably back when I was coaching in college. When I was back at Georgetown, that's kind of where I initially saw, hey, this is my niche to kind of get in with guys. And just there, just kind of, again, continuously paid attention and really saw what was happening on the collective, on more of a collective stage and kind of applying to that.
Where did you begin to craft some of those relationships? Did most of them happen on the floor, off the floor, obviously at Georgetown?
Yeah. More so off the floor. I think just with the recruiting landscape at that time, it was just before the NIL deal started happening. Players had a little more power, and I guess in an ordinary sense, that becomes a little more frightening from a coaching standpoint. But you learn that, hey, look, this is where the game is gone. So you have to kind of understand where people are coming from, and then, like I said, just offering the resources to be better, but also, holding them accountable.
How have you used those skills to work cohesively with other parts of this organization?
It's a good question. I think really just, here's a good question. Bringing guys along out of the offices, meeting guys, on the court, in the meal rooms, areas where the pressure is not there, and just really getting those guys to kind of let those walls down, but they have to see that you're really about them. And I think it's a step-by-step process. You want to be as authentic as you can be, and you're not always going to get it right. But those guys have to always see that, hey, look, I can't laugh at myself. I can't see where I messed up, but together we'll find that best solution.
How often are you having those touch points with players?
Every day, throughout the day, whether it's texts, whether it's calls, whether it's dinners, going to guys' houses. It's just showing that we're actually here for them.
What have you seen from the Summer League team that stands out?
We've been fighting. I think it's hard because you get together and you get 3 days to prepare and you come out and you play with somebody you never played before. So I have to commend our coaches and our players for actually, coming together as one. But I think the biggest highlight is just our guys from last year who, suffered injury like Dayron and those guys. So it's being able to see them happy and playing and having the joy of the game kind of come back has been the highlights thus far.
Yeah, focusing in specifically on Duran, what's been the joy to watch?
Shooting the ball. Like, he's not thinking the game out so much anymore. So you see his instincts coming back, and it's hard because you spend a whole year rehabbing. You don't really get a chance to get the reps. So this is his time. We've been telling him, hey, just have fun. Don't worry about, everything else outside of that window, per se. So he's been good so far.
How do your responsibilities change now that the roster is essentially constructed up to the season?
Yeah. I think they're pretty much intact still. I mean, you're still watching, you're still evaluating, you're still trying to find, ways to get 2%, 3%, 5% better, and kind of keep your ear to the streets as to what's happening. But at the same time, you have to make sure that, you're keeping in touch with the guys who are already on the team, with the European games coming up, with guys who are out here working out, such as Jamal. So it's really instilling that leadership aspect from their point to have more ownership within the team dynamic.
How do you get 2% better, 3% better? What are those little things?
I think it's those daily deposits. I think it's the habits right now. You can do a lot, but you can't do too much. Obviously, it's a long season. You want guys to come in fresh, but whether you're going 70% in a workout, it's, hey, shoot the same shot. Do the same things in repetition, to where you build those habits and it carries over and translates to the game.
Lastly, if there was one thing you wanted people to know about you handling this position, what would it be?
I'm all in.